Well, isn't this a very welcome surprise? The Promised Neverland is out early. It's out on a Thursday instead of like a Saturday, Sunday type of thing, or even Monday in some cases. This is very welcome. Hopefully this is becoming a permanent thing. Like, I would like to see The Promised Neverland come out on every Thursday of the week, because it makes it a lot easier on me when I'm doing, manga chapter reviews like One Piece and Boku no Hero. Adding Promised Neverland to Thursday is not necessarily a bad thing. So with that being said, though, and happy with the first time that we've had a Promised Neverland chapter on Thursday, let's talk about what happened. So, Ray is separated, and probably going to be separated for a good long time if he isn't captured or doesn't die. And if he is captured and he doesn't die, he's still going to be separated for quite a long time, because it seems like the writer is starting to shift the story into what some of us assumed might eventually happen. If Norman was still alive, and he was with Ray and Emma, many of us talked about it in the past a long time ago, that since we have three protagonists, three characters are the main central focus of the Promised Neverland, we all assumed that Ray, Norman, and Emma would split up completely. And what's to say that Norman isn't still alive? I mean, that's a likely possibility he's alive for whatever reason, because we saw how his reaction was very different from what we expected, so there is still a potential possibility Norman could be alive. So many of us have discussed that these characters could possibly split up, go their own route, and eventually way down the road in the future of the series, and the characters would meet up again, and then they would go and tell their stories of how much they developed or changed, or how they're trying to take action and change things throughout the entire world. Many of us have discussed this, and that seems like the route that the writer is starting to take, splitting up the main protagonists. For instance, Ray now is splitting off from Emma. Emma now, she has no choice but to split off from Ray, because she just went unconscious at the end of the chapter. Norman's already been gone for a long time. We don't know if he's dead or alive. He could possibly be alive, but he might be dead as well, so we know he's split off too. So with all this being said, we know now that different paths are probably not going to see each other for a long time, and so we're probably going to have different stories going on with different arcs focusing on other characters. Like, we might have an entire arc focused on Emma's group and all that, and then we'll switch over to Ray and whatever's going on with him if he survives. So I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing the series follow different directions, like seeing two different stories going on at the same time, and instead of just focusing on what's going on with the kids trying to escape. It definitely mixes things up a little bit. Now, instead of talking about that, let's talk about the situation with the ending of the chapter and this person popping up. I want to just be outright honest here. I do not trust that person that popped up at the end of the chapter. After everything we have seen from the Promised Neverland, after all of these characters, all of these things that pop up and there's plot twists and all that, I don't trust this person. I don't. I don't trust this person. And I don't even think that person is probably human. Because even though the form looks human, we don't really know what is out there. Once again, let's put some emphasis on this. This is an alien world. We've already seen things that just don't make sense and are not in our ecosystem. So what's to say there is not some creature out there that can shapeshift or something, or give some form of illusions? I mean, we know there's holograms and stuff in this series, so what's to say that might not be a hologram or whatever? We have no fucking idea. So what I'm getting at is, I just don't trust that person at all. For all we know, this person could be someone that's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, looks like an innocent person, and then after the children, get a false sense of security, they're like, holy crap, this is a nice person. This person just devours them, completely just kills all of them, or sells them back off to the demons, where the farm is. That is also a possibility. Remember what the demons stated when they actually were hunting down all the children. Make contact with everyone outside and all that. Make contact that this is our product. Basically, don't mess with them or you're going to get fucked up. So this is also what could be happening here, that this person here could be affiliated with the demons. And when the children finally get there and this person leads them into a false sense of security, she'll call the demons in, and then, they'll get captured and then shipped back to the farm. That could also happen, or this person wants to devour them. Now, the most unlikely thing is if this person is actually a good person, which I doubt. After everything I have seen from the series, I cannot look at someone as if they're innocent. So, yeah, the person's probably going to start some shit. Maybe give them a warm home home and all that to stay in for a bit, but then something's going to be off or fishy, something bad is going to happen. So right now, for the time being, it seems like the children are kind of okay. It seems like they might be getting a break maybe for a couple of chapters, be able to, you know, wind down, chill for a bit, but then they're probably going to have to get back on the run because this person's probably shady and someone you cannot trust. So yeah, that's my opinion on the ending of this chapter and the cliffhanger that we got. So let's talk about Ray's situation now. Ray is in a very bad state. Even if he gets caught and somehow miraculously he doesn't die, he's still in a bad spot here because he's not in a risk of probably dying because of the quality of goods he is, but because of him running away from so many demons at once and that have intelligence, it's looking very bad for him. The only thing that could possibly happen, like I stated in my last chapter review, that he could possibly do to get himself out of this, is if he leads the demons into the pitfall trap. As we know how the ground opens up, most likely he might still have that in his mind, trying to do that. Lead the demons down to where a hole will open up. Maybe he himself will willingly fall inside of that trap. That could happen, too. Maybe he wants to fall in the trap and he'll be separated from the demons. The demons know he's in there, and they're not going to go in there because maybe they can't fit or whatever, or maybe because they just, you know, are going to wait until he comes out or something, or they'll be rushed to go in, and then he gets out of it by himself while they're all inside there. One or the other could possibly happen. So because of that, I feel like that's what Ray's going to do. So if there's any chance for him to get out of this, it's still going to have to do with the plant that was going to eat the children, maybe the demons falling in it, chasing after, or maybe they willingly go in it. Remember that, okay? Remember what they were doing in this chapter. Regardless if, you know, Ray lied or not, and they believe his lie, or they don't believe his lie, they need to get Ray, because of what type of quality good he is. They need to grab him, they need to bring him back. So, regardless, they cannot let this man get out of their sight. They need to chase after him. So, if he falls into, like, a trap, and they don't really know if he's experienced this trap or not, they're obviously going to have to chase in after him. Even if they know what's in there, they're going to have to go in there to help him out. So, while he falls in and all that, and they try to get in there, Ray already knows his way out. They might not be aware of this. He outsmarts them, he gets out, and then GG there, and he has a running chance to get away. The only thing that could possibly happen to negate this is if a couple of demons stay outside of the hole, and then a couple of them go in. That means that if Ray does exit it, that would mean that he would get fucked up, and then the demons would just destroy him, and, you know, capture him or whatever. So, yeah, it's not good. I mean, it's not looking too good for him, but that's the only shot I think he has at this moment. So, yeah, the chapter overall was very good, and there was another thing that was added into the mix, which I'm really glad was added, because I talked about this, and I stated this many times in previous chapters, that if Ray or Emma were to cut off their ear, that's going to turn into an infection. I've talked about this many times already. I have. And it seems like that is the route we're going to be taking with the series. Emma has now collapsed because she has had her wound open up once again where her ear once was, and it's infected, and she's having a high fever. She went unconscious, and clearly she's been fighting against this for a while now because of how high of a fever it was. She just collapsed, so it's been going on for a while, and what's to say that Ray is not experiencing similar things? Because remember, Ray also cut off his ear. He clipped it, so maybe he might be experiencing similar things that Emma is experiencing, which could also result in him failing to run away. Maybe he goes unconscious and they capture him. Who knows? So when you look at it like this, right now, I'm glad that the writer is implementing this idea, what I've been saying should happen in the first place. Because if you have a wound like that big opened up, and you're on the run, constantly running, you're sweating and all that, you're in the middle of woods, desert, whatever, temperatures changing constantly from hot to cold, because they've even stated that, that's going to have a messed up effect on your body. Like, your body's going to be real fucked up. And that's what's going on with Emma right now. She went unconscious because her body just cannot take it anymore. So she cannot chase after Ray to help him out or whatever. So Ray's on his own. Emma's not coming to help him out. So that's not good. That's not good at all. So yeah, Emma's down for the count. Ray might be down for the count because he might be experiencing something very similar because of the clipping of his ear as well. So who knows where the writer is going to take it. So let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. How'd you feel about this chapter? Did you like it? Did you hate it? I mean, how do you feel about the revelations to what Rey's going to have to do? And how do you feel about the chapter being even earlier than normal? Because, I mean, usually this comes out on the weekends or late weekends. So I'm glad to have it on a Thursday because it makes, you know, it just so much easier to read this series, honestly, if it comes out on Thursday with all the other chapters that normally release. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.